Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grant Mitt podcast, episode number 50. I know I've been off for a second. I've been in the middle of a couple of really big deals, and I also got a puppy. So I was started by showing you guys, this is Rocky. If you aren't following his Instagram, I would follow it because it's hilarious. But he is happy to meet you guys. He's been doing good so far. This is like the second or third week that I've had him. And it's just crazy having a puppy walking around. Go down, Rocky. So anyways, let's talk about today's podcast. I want to talk to you guys about how the world responds to our frequency and not fairness. Have you ever been in a situation where you see someone just seem like they always get what they want? They always end up with the perfect outcome, the perfect partner, the perfect job opportunity. And then maybe you come across other people, or maybe, unfortunately, you might have experienced this in some parts of your life, where it's like one thing after another is negative or unfortunate. And it just becomes a series of unfortunate events. Why does this happen? And is the world fair in some capacity? Karma is what you give, you will receive. But if you're always looking at every situation from a negative lens and you're a victim mentality, does that raise or drop your frequency? It drops it, right? When you feel sad or you feel defeated or you have this natural instinct to want to complain or blame outside sources for your situation, does that suddenly cause all of these great things to enter your life? No. In fact, complaining attracts more negative things to complain about. Just like celebrating other people's wins, being thankful, being grateful attracts more things to be grateful for. That's why when you hang out with people who are as if not way more talented and successful than you are, you suddenly start becoming more successful. Their success, it doesn't block you from achieving great things. In fact, it attracts more of it to you because you're around this energy. If you're ever in a bad state, you're feeling a little off, you're feeling a little negative, maybe you're in a tough spot right now in any capacity, whether it's your finances, your family, your business, you name it, whatever you could be going through. One of the simplest things that we can all do to immediately change our state is to not start saying affirmations, read a positive book. Yeah, podcasts can help, but even more than all of those things is to find the most positive, uplifting, and high frequency location in the city that you live in. It could be the nicest hotel, the best restaurant in town. It could be a park or a trail where everyone goes and it's a great crowd of people. And don't go there trying to meet someone or get something. Just go there to be. Relax. Have a great time. And absorb the energy that is in that room. If you've ever done this before, I'm sure most of you have, you notice that you almost feel kind of cleansed after. You feel a little bit more relaxed, more at peace. You have much more certainty. In fact, you just kind of know that everything that you want is going to come to you at the right time. You're not pressed for it. Why is that happening? You have wealth energy around you. During that time that you're in that location, in that environment, you are feeling the frequency of certainty. You're feeling the energy of confidence, of thinking big, of collaboration, of not having limiting beliefs. Have you ever had a problem and you talk to someone who is so many years ahead of you? And it's not that they disdain your problem or say something negative about it, but they're like, oh, that's it? I wish I had your problems. And you're like, what? Because they're at such a level, such an altitude, that 5 or 10 or whatever $1,000 problem is like a total joke. And they may tell you one thing or have some sort of response that makes you go, damn, you know what? I think this person's right. I think I've been looking at this wrong. This is not that hard to do. That's 2 deals and then I'm done. I'm fixed. Everything is solved. And then you go out and you solve it and then you get to another level. All right? So realize that You are seen in the world, which you are of yourself. If you feel like there's so much problems in the world and so much negativity, that is all you're going to see. If you see abundance, success, positivity, growth, happiness, fulfillment, that is all you will see in the world. You know, anytime I say that we're living in one of the most peaceful times in humanity, people are stunned. It's like I told them that Santa Claus isn't real. They go, no, I saw on the news, blah, blah, blah. And I go, do you know how many people died from 1910, let's say 1912, through World War II? Even if you want to talk about the Korean War and the Vietnam War, all of that bloodshed, millions and millions and millions of deaths, famine, depression, we survived. If you actually go out and talk to people and touch grass, you go to a park and you talk to 30 people and you just ask them how they're doing, you will not know what political party they're a part of, mostly. You won't know any negativity. Every person genuinely will be kind, will be thoughtful. I took my dog to the park y'all just met, and he was trying to get some water. They have a little water fountain, a little dog spot. People I never met in my entire life that had dogs, they're like, oh, here, it's okay. We got some extra water. Let me pour it for him. They were just nice. Now, I have a cute puppy, so maybe that helps. But every person you talk to was so nice. I learned this also in the home service industry with the solar business, is personally, you know, or especially early on when I was in sales, I had been to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes. And I've seen some interesting things, to say the least. But I can tell you that almost everybody is cool. If they feel heard, they feel respected, they don't feel judged, people are so friendly. Has a child ever came out and just suddenly been instantly evil? No. They're as happy and polite as can be. A puppy, any type, pit bulls included, have they came out and been mean or had a bad heart? No, because it is natural for humanity to lead from a stance of love. We have to decide what we want to see in the world, and we do this by what we choose to focus on. But this is actually a trained habit. If you ever catch yourself in a reacting state where the level of your happiness and fulfillment is solely based on the current situation that you're in, you are now at the mercy of the world. This isn't a motivational, this is just almost common sense. But if you choose to see the good in the world in every situation, you're proactive, you don't react. Someone screams and yells at something, or yells something at you while you're driving, you don't ruin your whole day. You're just like, damn, that guy's having a bad day. Turn up the music, you keep cruising, you have a great day. Someone cuts you off, you should be more shocked when they don't cut you off if you live in a big city. If someone says something rude to you, whose fault is it? Who is in a negative state? Them or you? Them. You can choose to be like them, or you can choose to just brush it off your shoulders, keep it going. Be positive. That is for all of us to choose, right? Let's think about this from a standpoint. This is why quantum physics is so interesting. And the more you study it, the more you realize how simple the world is and how to be successful in it. The same way that a radio station can be listened to, or a phone call. I was on the phone with a friend in Australia just 2 or 3 days ago. And I was sitting there thinking, like, this is insane how far away this person is, yet I hear them clearly. If you can have a conversation with someone, I don't even know how many miles that is, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 miles, whatever it is, away, perfectly, why would our energy and our focus not be able to travel that far also? If we're all connected on this grid, we could send energy to anyone. If you stopped for a second, and we could actually do this right now. I want you to, if you're not walking, even if you are, you can close your eyes or you can just calm yourself. Take a couple big, deep breaths. Relax. And take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. And I want you to visualize a moment in your life where you felt abundance. Maybe you just got a massive deal. Maybe you won an award. Maybe you just had your first child. Maybe you were on a dream vacation. Or maybe you were just in a walk or at a restaurant, one of the nicest places in your city, and you just felt amazing. And during that time, you weren't worried about bills. You weren't worried about a negative relationship. You weren't worried about if your goals were going to happen. You just felt at peace and present. Feel how that feels. Now take that energy with you to the rest of your day and the rest of this week. And anytime you feel uncertainty, bring your focus back to that energy. And I want you, maybe you can comment under this or message me or go back to YouTube or Spotify and say, hey, like I listened to what you said and I already noticed a difference. You're going to start noticing that weird things will start happening. You'll start getting emails, texts, a phone call out of the blue. Suddenly a deal that was on the line, on the fence, you didn't know if it was going to go through, bam, it's just going to close. Suddenly people that are awesome and on that same frequency are suddenly going to say, how have you been? What have you been up to? Let's connect. Let's get coffee. Let's get dinner. We are way more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. The problem is we're so distracted by chaos and this person and that thing and the news and this political thing that we lose focus and forget that we have the power to choose our own reality and our own experience. And it's up to us to be conscious about what we're focusing on to create the life that we want, right? One of the things that happened to me the year before I made 7 figures for the first time and built a successful business, it was November, so a couple months before that year. This is 2019 at the time. And I remember I walked in to my dad's house. I was visiting my dad. And I looked at him, and I just started reading this book called Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read it, read it. And if you've read it, read it again. I said, Dad, I thought about it, and I don't know how, but I'm going to make over $1 million this year. And he goes, really? How are you going to do that? And I said, I don't know yet, but I'm positive I'm going to do it. I can just feel it. And I noticed after, let's say that month, people just started to treat me differently. And I would have all of these interesting situations, people reaching out, opportunities, and it wasn't that big thing yet. But I could just notice the world reacting differently to me. Because you can feel it. I always talk about, the importance of dressing nice and, carrying yourself in the right way, having good body language. And we've all felt this, right? Like there's been days we've all been dressed extremely nice and we just received all this respect. And there's been times maybe we weren't dressed too nice. And it's different for each one of us. And people just didn't really pay attention to us. Maybe didn't respect us as much, right? So it was kind of like one of those things. When you make a decision, like a true decision that you are going to do something and you have absolute certainty, the world starts to bend at your will. And as those months passed, suddenly around January, February, I said, you know what? Maybe I should start a business in this industry. I go, how would I do it? Started researching, started this. I made a 10-step plan. I'd been saving up for 2 years. All of a sudden, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to file the LLC. How do I do that? Googled it. Boom, got it. I need to make a logo. Boom, I need to make a website. Okay, I need to find an installer. Okay, I need to find a lead vendor. Okay, I need to figure out how to run ads. Okay, I've got to figure out how do I do new hire contracts. I got to figure out, what's the commission structure going to be? What am I going to pay these people? How am I going to do it? What's the process? And all of a sudden, March comes around, bam, we close our first deal. June, July, August, all of a sudden August hits, we do $1 million+ in a month. Unbelievable. So anything is possible when you make a decision. How did that happen? I wasn't special. I didn't have any crazy mentor. I didn't get a big investment. I just believed. And that's what we all have to do this week and continue to do. All right. So I'm going to give you a 3-step simple process, and we'll break for the day, and let you guys go have an amazing week. The first thing that you want to do is write out on a sheet of paper. You can do this in the notes of your phone as well. A clear, exact description of your dream life. You can put whatever you want in it. What you do each day, where you live, who you're around, who you're married to, who you're friends with. All of these things. Be as detailed and descriptive as possible. If you want to write a 5-page thing, you can do it. And meditate on it. And visualize that. But you need to know it. Because you can't find that life. You can't attract those things and those people into your life if you don't know it. Right? Number 2, only allow things, content, people, and experiences that match that exact same frequency. They have to match it. This could be a magazine sitting on the desk or the coffee table in your living room. This could be the background of your phone. This, most importantly, should be your algorithm. Start saying you're interested or not interested. You can actually change your algorithm now on Meta. You can chat GPT how to do that. You can write the thing that you want to see more of. Right? That negative friend, pull away. That negative relationship, pull away. If you work for someone and you have 30 other people, only surround yourself with the positive sales reps, the most successful sales reps. Right? And then 3, disdain or ignore, meaning act as if they don't exist. Anything that drains your energy and makes you less successful. Only focus on the success, the abundance, the opportunity, the knowledge, and the people that will help you become who you're intended to be. So hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please comment below a fire emoji, your thoughts, experience. Every time you do that, it pushes it out onto the algorithm. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, guys, if you're a business owner, I have a mastermind group. We do one-on-one guidance, weekly trainings, and we help business owners, family offices, private equity groups, and anywhere from 6 to 9-figure companies scale. So if you guys would like to apply to that, book a quick call at grantmittconsulting.com. As always, I'm rooting for you guys. We'll see you guys again for episode 151. Have an incredible week. Thanks, guys.